Hello, and welcome to this lab tutorial. In this session, we'll explore an essential skill for any Linux system administrator, resetting the root password on a RHEL machine. Now that we're in the lab, you can check the FAQ section for instructions on how to copy-paste and adjust the resolution. Now we'll cover how to reset the root password of a Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9 system. To begin, click on the Access Lab button to open the lab environment. Let's click on Access Lab button. Once it's loaded, locate and open VirtualBox from the Applications menu to get started. Let's move on to next step. Now, locate the preconfigured RHEL VM in VirtualBox and start it. As the VM begins to boot, proceed to step 3. When you see the GRUB boot menu, press E to enter edit mode and modify the boot parameters. Now, click on the Start button to launch the RHEL 9 VM. The VM is booting up, and we'll wait for the GRUB boot menu to appear. Once it's on the screen, I'll press E to enter the edit mode and modify the boot parameters for the next steps. Now, for step 4, we modify the boot parameters. In the edit mode, find the line that starts with Linux. We'll append the init /bin/sh. This command initiates a shell as the first process. Now, I'm locating the line that starts with Linux. I'll go ahead and add init /bin/sh at the end of this line. Now I'll press Ctrl+X to boot the system with the new parameters. Once the system finishes booting, I'll be presented with a shell prompt, giving me direct access to the system for further actions. In step 6, I'll check my current user by typing Huami. This will confirm that I'm logged in as the root user, which is required to perform administrative tasks. Now I am typing Huami and pressing Enter. As you can see, it confirms that I am indeed operating as the root user, which allows me to proceed with resetting the password. In step 7, I'll load the SELinux policies to put the system in permissive mode. This step is crucial because it removes any SELinux restrictions, allowing us to make changes to the system without interference. Let me go ahead and run the command /usr/spin/load_policy to apply this change. Once that's done, let's move on to step 8. Now, we need to remount the root file system with write permissions. In recovery mode, file systems are often mounted as read-only by default, so I'll execute the command mount remount rw/ to enable write access to the root file system. Now, I'm going to execute the command mount remount rw/ to remount the root file system with write permissions. Moving on to step 9. Now it's time to reset the root password. I'll enter the command password root to begin the process. Now, I'll enter the command password root to reset the root password. After pressing Enter, the system will prompt me to enter a new password. I'll type in the new password and press Enter, then re-enter the password for confirmation. Once the password has been successfully reset, let's move on to step 10. I'll reboot the system by entering the command /spin/reboot-f, which forces an immediate restart of the system. I'm now entering the command /spin/reboot-f to force an immediate reboot of the system. After pressing Enter, the system will restart to complete the process. Once the system reboots, let's proceed to step 11. I'll log in with the new root password to verify that the password reset was successful. Now, I'll enter root as the username and press Enter. Next, I'll type in the new password and hit Enter. Once that's done, I'll be logged in as the root user, confirming that the password reset was successful. Now that the password has been successfully changed, you've completed the exercise. Simply mark the lab as completed to finish by clicking Mark as Complete.